Hello and welcome. I'm so excited to get into today's video. As we're going to get into is a retirement home, and I'm very excited about this. I kind of just wanted to build something for when our 100 baby challenge, sim, whichever one we end up on, we'll have a spot that we can dump them. As much as I love my sims, I feel kind of brutal, or I'd be like, I don't know, if we get to a certain point in the storyline, I'm just like, what do we do with these sims? Like, I gotta move them out, or I want them to not, like, I want them to have, like, some type of story, but not much effort. So I thought this would be a great place to dump them, feel less guilty, and whatnot. So I think without further ado, let's get into the build. Let me show you what we built, and yeah. So I first like to caution is the fact that I didn't fully record everything, unfortunately. And because we did this live, I wasn't able to I could have, but I did not remember to download the video content, so I'm sorry that we only get a few of the rooms pre-recorded, and then I'll show off the rest. I kind of wanted to just get this recording out there, because we are going to be utilizing it, kind of give you guys the gist if you guys want to see what we're placing our retired 100 baby challenge. We're nowhere near to this point where anybody's retiring, but it's definitely a build I want to use now, but also in the future, maybe if I'm like having one of our parents move out and whatnot. I think it's a great idea to add into your gameplay. So as for the layout, you guys already saw I pre-built it before the live. I kind of wanted like enough room for everything to fit and whatnot, and I only wanted so few rooms just because if we did visit this lot, there wouldn't be that many people who are retired at once, if that makes sense, at least for the gameplay in our 100 baby challenge. And I didn't want to make this too big, and it just didn't make sense, but I also wanted to make sure there was enough rooms to where it wasn't just someone's house. And so we got quite a couple rooms. You got try to make different themed rooms also. I would love to hear your guys' opinions and thoughts and like whatnot if you guys ever want to join us for any of our builds, because I'm not that creative, clearly sometimes, so my ideas are definitely limited to myself. But either way, I had a lot of fun. We built like a granny, I think I want to say like a very pinky, like crafty room for a grandparent. And then we had one that made me think a lot of my grandpa type style with a bunch of old rundown stuff. Maybe like he didn't decorate his room, but he had a few items they just checked around. But as for the exterior wise, I really wanted it to be homey, very welcoming, like a spot where, you know, the retirees can enter and come in and out of the place with ease, which is why I didn't add it a whole lot. I didn't want any stairs in the outside. It is kind of unfortunate with the inside. I do imagine that they would have had like for an like to chair the ring you up the stairs in this place. Obviously we don't have that in the Sims, but at least for the outside I didn't want, you know, stairs. I wanted it to be easily accessible. Unfortunately I wish we could have elevators or just something to make it more accessible for the multi-floored place, because that's not something I really did think about till right now, at least, about the fact that like the stairs inside. But so let's just envision that there's a way for them to get up. Thankfully there are Sims don't need that extra thought, but you know, we kind of want that. We want that in the story play in our minds. So right now I'm just kind of laying it out. We got the entry floor, we got upstairs, which are a lot more of the bedrooms, and a gym also, just so Granny can stay fit. You know, Granny gotta get in the gym sometimes. And make sure she doesn't hurt herself. But for this little front foyer area, I kind of wanted it to be like if you visit one of your grandparents or one of your friends visits you, even if you're not a grandparent, just like a parent or something, you want to visit them. You spots for like a waiting room if you want them to come out and you meet them, or if you're checking in a relative, you want a spot where you can wait while they make sure the room's cleaned and what for them. That's what I was kind of envisioning. I've only ever been to like one I don't think it was a retirement home. It was I forgot what it was called, but it was more in the sense of like, you know, they had nurses on site and everything. I don't remember because I've only visited like a couple times. I clearly don't have a whole lot of information on that aspect, but I really wanted it to be welcoming. I wanted it to look like a grandparent lived here, so like we got the old-timey wallpaper, in my own personal opinion. We got a couple of plants, but I wanted it to be not too much because I'm imagining we don't want it to be too expensive, like a place to live here. Obviously they get their own rooms and whatnot, which is really nice, and whatnot. But either way, I do like the final look. I just wish I recorded more for you guys in the building process so I could show you. A lot of it was just kind of theming the rooms, decking it out that way. So I do want to show you. We'll do like a final tour. We'll tour it and whatnot. And let me know if you guys build anything similar for your Sims, or if you already have. It's not an idea I've seen before. It was just kind of, the thought process was, oh my, I've seen people do the 100 baby challenge. Where do they put, like my brain was just like, where do you put the Sims when they get too old to have kids. Like, what do you do with them? Like, do we like do you just toss them into the world and that's it? Like, I just wanted like a spot for that. See, because he spent so much time on this one sim that I really wanted to take care of him. And as for the art on the walls, which I feel like you get to see, especially in this front foyer, I wanted that back wall to be like, oh, like this is like the Sims who started this retirement home. But then I also wanted art all over the place because I feel like, you know, over time and years of owning a spot or, you know, living your life, I personally like accumulating art. Obviously it's my own, but I've noticed my grandma has a lot of art for her walls and whatnot, just stuff that they've accumulated. So I wanted like art everywhere is what I was envisioning and whatnot. And we got like this little spot, which is like definitely the counter where you check in at, you know. Someone mentioned it shouldn't be a gaming chair, so we swapped that out eventually. They're just like the person who checks in wouldn't be a gamer, but I don't know why. I think like when I think office chair or chicken chair, my brain immediately goes to gamer chair, I guess. I don't know. Something silly with me. But as for little extra bits and bobs, I was definitely venturing into debug, or at least I tried to, although debug is so overwhelming. It does take me a little while, but we thought of the idea of adding little candies, little welcome things, because, you know, Granny always got candy in her purse for ya, or type of ordeal, or maybe, like, it's just, like, a very welcoming spot. So now I'm showing you guys the kitchen dining area. I really wanted a spot where people can, like, all enter, eat together, or if you have someone visiting you, you can eat together. Obviously, gotta have the big giant TV where they all can share in case they don't have one in their room. I wanted a kitchen also where a spot where there is people who do meals, but if you wanted to do your own off of certain times, you're allowed to. I don't know if any retirement home does that, but I really wanted people to have that accessibility, that normalcy. I envision if I had to go to a retirement home, that's what I would desire. Like, if I'm, like, cooking all the time, I'd want a spot to cook. So, we allotted in this area since there's no extra stuff like that in their bedrooms, fire hazards, you know. We want to make sure Granny's safe and whatnot. And then after we show off this room, we do show off one of the rooms, which is the one that, like, kind of is geared towards, like, I envisioned my grandpa would live in. But that's about it. The upstairs, I will have to show you guys in the final tour, which I'm excited. Like I said, we have a gym up there. There is going to be, like, a little open space for, like, a computer lounge, because I'm envisioning, you know, in case that Granny wants to play video games. I don't know. Whatever Granny does on a computer, she has the ability to. Maybe send out an email. She can. But I also just wanted to make sure there's these spaces to get them out of the room. I really didn't want it to be like, I envision in this retirement home, I didn't want it to be like Granny was forced to stick in her room. Like, they let Granny out, Granny has some activities, some reasons to leave, into the other parts of the build. And I feel like we did pretty well with that. And for the rest of the kitchen, I don't remember fully. I do know we have, like, plenty of seatings and whatnot. We have, like, this little lounge area, maybe, where they have movie nights and whatnot. It's just, like, fun stuff to do. We got, like, the little cookies, the pastries, because I felt like it'd be, like, the option whether or not to eat the food they give you, which is why we have the menu, or you have, like, the counter space, the fridges and whatnot, in case you want to cook and make something for yourself. Both are allowed. And I definitely tried very hard to find different clutter items that made sense. It was kind of a struggle for me. It's something I'm definitely trying to develop on, is building and adding more clutterish, that's a word now, clutterish items into the build to make it look more lived in and whatnot. As for the couches and, like, the furniture, especially the wallpaper, I wanted it to be, like, patterns. I just feel like, I think grandparents, I think retirees, you got patterns everywhere, like, just old-timey, like, type of feel. I don't know what else was us, like, but that's kind of, like, what I wanted. Let me know if I hammer on the nail too much, or if it makes sense, and whatnot. I'd love to hear your thoughts, but I personally like it. It definitely gives me what I think I did pretty well with what I was envisioning. The build itself, I think if I do another retirement home, I would do it on one floor, just for my grandparents don't have to, like, go upstairs and whatnot all the time. I just feel like, you know, it'd be a trouble if you're older. You can't, the accessibility isn't fully there, at least. I think we only have, like, one bedroom, and then we also have, which I forgot for a minute, we have, like, a greenhouse on the first floor so they can do their plants. I think most rooms have patios. We'll have to double check on that so they can have, like, a garden there for themselves if they desire. And then on the first floor, we also have like a very communal like bathroom area. I just thought like if you're having guests over, you want that space, or if your room's upstairs, you want that accessibility on that first floor and whatnot. So we do a lot that. They do have that all down there. A pretty spacious bathroom, which I do like. I do like the sense of like thinking about that. I think that's like the best way I personally can add more into my builds if I think about that realism aspect. I don't know what everybody else's like brain processes or thought process, I should say, and I would love to hear that. Like when you get into a build, like do you think realism? Do you use reference photos? Because that's kind of like the two things I've been personally using, but I clearly need more ideas. I need more creativity and whatnot. So I'm personally kind of thinking like for future builds, I kind of want like a place I've gone to try to build that, like maybe the clutter items, and try to see what the game has, just so I can get more in my builds and more going for it. Or maybe even, I know I have on my computer, which I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on, is building like a castle-y like build. I really want to do like this futuristic type of build, which is definitely out of my comfort zone, because I'm like, how do you do it? How accessible, hello, would it be and whatnot? But I do believe we're coming to the end of the little dining area for this build. We like obviously we've got plenty of seatings. I love the colors we got going on. And then after this, I will go into the bedroom itself, the last little room we got before we do the tour and show you guys that. And yeah, because I like I said, we missed quite a few of the builds, unfortunately. And as for the last few items, it made me realize I wanted more activities, like a little music box. We got books to listen to, just different items and clutters. I think we had like little storage units, little games and whatnot, because I feel like this would be the room they'd want to do it. And yeah, so now for the final room, like previously mentioned, this is a room I feel like my grandpa would live in. Like just very like brown, it's cozy, not much color scheme going. We got the old-timey wallpaper, maybe suitcases because he didn't fully unpack is what I was envisioning. And then we got like I think the basement is the basement kit. We got like the mirror and whatnot. But he does get us a little spot to watch his TV and just, you know, be cozy. And I use this chair because I perfectly fit, because my grandpa sleeps in his recliner like all the time. That's all he sleeps in. And definitely felt like we needed that. Although the only thing that I feel like that for storyline to make sense in this room is that grandpa had like somebody to help him plan out the room, put all the furniture up, because these rooms aren't nice. They're all very personalized. It's like their own furniture, so I'm envisioning like grandpa had help in some way, especially if grandpa went from like I don't really care for decoration. I feel like grandpa would just have the basic bed, his recliner, and a TV. But I don't know, I wanted more to this room, so that's what we went for. And I believe as for the rest of it, we just kind of fill her up with a bunch of different items that made sense from various packs. I definitely didn't limit myself, so I will caution, I did kind of use a variety of items with that. But I love this room so much. I can't wait to show you like the little extra clutter bits we've added to make it make more sense in all the other rooms. So I think we're ready for the final tour to show off what we got going on. And yeah. Okay, so here's the final little tour we got going on. We got a little seating area and whatnot for them to use, you know, whatever they want to do outside and, you know, get some fresh air, look at the birds, or I guess look across the way at the coffee shop. I guess that's nice. Granny can walk over, or I don't know, how do you hop the fence? How does Granny get in here? Is it not allowed? Wait, hold on. I'm actually genuinely curious. How do I cross the street? Like, Sims? Sims? Granny's not allowed over here? Oh, that's so unfortunate. I am so sorry, Granny. You're not allowed to cross this way. Does anybody know where the entryway is? Okay, I'm actually like, wow. Where do you, or how does Granny get across? Like, does she have to hop the fence? Like, legitimately? Well, okay, let's get to the build now. Let me know in the comments though. Where do you enter? I'll have to like look once I'm done recording to check that out. But I wanted to show quickly like the side areas and whatnot. So let's get over there. You guys can see like the patios, and my amazing camera skills are still lacking, so I'm sorry about that. But we got a little bit of like landscaping. We got a little patio, which I definitely did not show, and little stepways. So let's get in here. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that grandpa had like a dog, because I was just like, whoever lives on the first floor kind of has to have a dog, because they get that little front area to let their dog go out and whatnot. So Grandpa has a dog. Yeah, we just added that. I was like, not necessarily for any reason other than what floor he's on. So let's enter in here. We got like the little entryway, which I feel like you guys got to see pretty well. Spots of hand sanitize, which I feel like is going to be everywhere, especially. And a little waiting area for you. And the lady's desk where she can, you know, check in her files, be like, hi, how are ya? Is that, yeah, and whatnot, and just ignore the fact, is that like, I didn't even realize, we got like a full-on wine area. This lady is like, I've had a long day. Granny's been yelling. I got my secret stash. You know what? I'm gonna keep it like that. But then we enter here. We got like a little entry foyer area. We got the little grandfather's clock and whatnot. And before we get down that hallway and show off Grandpa's room, I think we should show off the little dining area where I'm imagining they move the furniture. They can have like little parties and whatnot. And like dance-offs, and yeah, we got a little kitchen, our little menu for tell Granny, hey, this is what we got on here if you don't want to cook. But let's enter our first room. We got Grandpa's room. Got plenty of stuff for his storage and whatnot, his mirror, his dog bowl, because of course he has to feed them, and a spot to like hang out, and his little, because you know he's on his lonesome, he just has a single chair, that's all he cares about, you know, a spot for his cup of coffee and stuff. And all the bathrooms, I think, are pretty much the same. I don't think I changed that a whole lot, so we'll sorry, upstairs. And sneak peek to upstairs. But, yeah, we'll just have to see how different those are. But, yeah, here's Grandpa's little spot, a gate where he can let his dog out. If he trusts his pup like that, he can. And that's the first room. So I'm excited to show you guys everything you didn't get to see quite yet. Down this hall here, we have our green room, so they can have, like, maybe a gardening club, or maybe one or two of the rooms like to do gardening, maybe some flower pots, and exit out here, we have, like, a little spot for them to just sit out here, enjoy the view, get some gossiping, cook if they desire, and yeah, so entering back in, this is where the communal bathrooms are in the back of the hallway. It's like I said, it's a spot where if they don't want to go all the way back up to the rooms, they can definitely go down here, or if they have guests, they can use one of these stalls and whatnot. Nothing fancy schmancy, just a generic bathroom for a guest or for Granny who doesn't want to go back upstairs. So yeah, that's it up there, down here. So let's get back on up. Let's show you guys the upstairs, what we got going on. So this is the whole floor that I didn't get to show you quite yet. We got like a little library slash computer spot where I'm imagining, you know, if Granny needs a computer, she can use it. Or one wants to sit here, read some of the books that they got. Just get out of your room, you know? So, what do I want to show you guys first? I kind of want to show you the gym. I don't know why. We got like the little gym. We got yoga spots, a couple treadmills. We also have this one in case like maybe they hire a person to help them stretch, maybe a doctor to make sure they're still healthy. But, you know, we got this room, plenty of mirrors, make sure Granny's fine, get to see Granny fall in the reflection, go Mayday, I don't know, zone, make sure she's okay. But now entering into the first room, we got like a cottage living style, because I was just like, this definitely gives me, like, Granny, like, vibes, I guess, for the lack of better descriptive words. I feel like after these last few videos, I need to hurry up and, like, I'm gonna write down a list of words to describe things, because I'm failing you guys. But yeah, so we have, like, this nice little cozy room. Maybe Granny, like, came from cottage living. Honestly, that's what it feels like. And we got, like, all of our clutter items, her little old-timey computer. And yeah, the bathroom that basically looks the same, you know, nothing too different. And yeah, oh, Granny likes to drink. I didn't mean to expose her on that fact, but yeah, there we go. Now moving on to the last but not least room. I thought Nifty Knitting would be the perfect pack for Granny, because that's like the whole reason why they added it, with the rocking chairs and whatnot. And we went on full pink, purple, and yellow, which I didn't understand why they did that in the Nifty Knitting. Like, why yellow with the purple? But you know, maybe I asked too many questions. I don't know. Oh, hello. There we go. So the bathroom's kind of teeny tiny, but we got a bathroom, all of her nifty nitty crafty items, and her nice patio where she can garden. She has like the nicest patio. Although her view of my ugly other builds, I'm kidding, they're not ugly, but they're just incomplete, so they look ugly. But yeah, so I think that's it. So I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on our little retirement home. I enjoy building this a lot. Like I said, let me know if you guys build anything similar. And yeah. And yay, that'll be it for this video. Please don't And yay, that'll be it for this video. Please don't forget to get a like. I cannot talk today. And yay. Okay. And yay, that'll be it for this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're new to this village, welcome on in. I enjoyed this a lot. I like to apologize again that I didn't have everything recorded. But hopefully you guys still enjoyed watching this build and seeing it and whatnot, because you guys will be seeing this in our gameplay. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye!